So, Guru will give us knowledge. We pray Om Ajnana Guru destroys the darkness of ignorance with knowledge. My experience is this. Although we are unwilling, our Guru will throw so much light upon our head to free us from ignorance. However, then he will wait. Then what are you going to do now? He will wait to see if anything has taken place there. If any effect has come up. And that will be shown. The disciple then will have to show. He will show two things. He or she will show two things. One is a willingness to serve. And two are further inquiries. Then more will come. More knowledge, more benediction, more mercy will come. Then the Guru will continue to shower. Firstly, we don't have anything. Almost by force, the Guru forces the light, forces open our door. He forces in knowledge, forces out darkness, ignorance. You follow us? He doesn't just keep doing that. Just like in the beginning, the students come, they sit, and the teacher gives a lesson. Then he wants to see what they understood. According to their understanding, then he will take them to the next step, the next step, the next step. Of course, our Guru is tirelessly working to save us. And even we don't respond properly. And still he is so kind and here trying to help us. But when we reciprocate with our Guru by service and by inquiries, then we will enable him to give us all the more. Do you follow? So, these two things. Paripashnena sevaya, upatakshanti. We must come to the Guru with some service. We must offer service. And we must have some inquiries. In the Western world, inquiries are, why you wear this paint on your face? Why do you do this? What? Are the women equal to men? We don't know, they have one less rib. You know that? Men have so many ribs, ladies have one less. A new argument we discovered the other day. They're always fighting for equality. They have one less rib, that's the only difference. In other words, everyone is good. So very rarely do we get a nice question there. But if we can put any nice question, how can I advance in this human form of life? Swami, what is the purpose of this human form of life? What are the things that should be avoided in this life? If we ask good questions, he'll be very happy to provide us with good answers. So inquisitiveness must come from the side of the disciple. When inquisitiveness is there, then we will draw so much good fortune, so much knowledge will come to us. We cannot expect the Guru to beat us over the head at every step. He will beat, but he's waiting to see when good inquiries will come, good service attitude. He may run and find me. Oh, please come, please come. You save it, you save it. But he's waiting to see, without asking, we came to do saving. Oh, you are here, you are doing saving. Very nice. Without asking, we are ready to do service. And when asking, are there any questions? Then so many questions. You cannot answer those questions. That is a happy day. That is a happy day. So the disciple must be mindful of his duty in order to properly have a relationship with the Guru. Two duties are very important. Service and inquiry. Prabhupada made one inquiry from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. He made different ones, but one he made his grand inquiry. It was a 2-in-1. His inquiry was, how may I serve you? Two things are necessary, inquiry and service. And Prabhupada made his inquiry 2-in-1, how may I serve you? That was his inquiry. Very intelligent disciple. Best type of inquiry. How may I serve you? Then his guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, told him, you preached in the English-speaking world. This was in like 1936, 35, end of 1936, December, something like that. By letter he asked, how may I serve you? And he wrote back, you can preach Mahaprabhu's message in the English, that time British Raj. No definite scope of independence. Only British Raj was in India. And English, we say we speak English, right? In India, we speak English. In USA, we speak English. In Canada. But this is England. English comes from England. One country almost ruled the world. Their language was everywhere in the world. Still is everywhere in the world, isn't it? It's all over India. It's all over USA. It's all over South America. English is everywhere in the world. Russia, everywhere. English is there. Huh? So knowing this, he told you preach in English. In one language, if you preach in that language, it may go everywhere and anywhere in the world. So that Prabhupada took very, very seriously to preaching in English. And even he didn't speak proper English at the time. Still he tried and he began. Of course, later on he became a very elegant, fluent speaker in English. But the main point is, he asked the most essential question to his guru, how may I serve you? And when getting that reply, then he was very attentive to that. Whether he was a householder, grihastha, either he was a vanaprastha, retired, or he was a sannyasi, he was always back to that one point, what his guru told him. He asked, how may I serve you? And his guru told him. So he was always on that point, and actually it was just maybe 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after, Prabhupada's guru disappeared from the world on the New Year's Day, early morning, New Year's Day, a few weeks after. So he was always coming back to that point. So, of course, maybe our guru has told us many things. But we must understand certain things as we grow in Krishna consciousness. Certain things he's told us are more important. In my particular situation, Prabhupada told me, you preach in India. Many of my God brothers and God sisters, they try to drag me off to USA. Even they bought 25 acres land and built me a nice house, and it's empty all year round. And sometimes even a whole year goes by and I don't go there. It's not because I'm ungrateful. It's because I am bound here by the order of my guru. He told me, you preach in India. First he asked me, how do you like India? Oh, Prabhupada, I like very much. And you be in India. Just like this, his hand went like this. It was just like I was nailed to the ground. And even sometimes I'd run there, and just like the string is there, I'm back within a few months. That is called Guru Datta Desh, the place of living which is given to us by the Guru, the place of seva, the place of seva, or the type of seva. Of course, then, many things Prabhupada told his disciples about preaching. Many things, not just 1, 2 things. But for many disciples, 1 or 2 things will come up very important. So, Prabhupada told distribute books, Prabhupada told worship the deity, Prabhupada told distribute prasadam. So all these things we are doing in India. Understand? And then with some scope for going elsewhere. But anyone who knows me, wherever they see me, if they see me in USA, they know, oh, when did you come? And then they ask, and when are you going? They know I won't be there long. In that place, I'm coming and going, you see. But in this place is where I stay. You follow? So according to the order of the Guru, we must follow that. And whatever it is, whatever order it is, the strength to do it whatever it is, the strength to do it, the knowledge to do it, the work, we say in English, the worth with all, the abilities to do it. It is all in the order itself. Just like someone says, they give you a note, you open one factory. How I open the factory? Well, look in the paper, the check, so many crores rupees is lying there, and land deed is there. Everything is already in there. Very easy to do that. Just don't lose it. Don't throw it away. So if the Guru tells you, you leave non-veg, you believe in him, you can easily leave. The Guru tells you, even you are grihastha, you must be celibate. You have children, now you are also grihastha brahmachari. You believe in it, you can do that. Strength is there to do that. You'll get one land in Bangalore, and we will build a temple. Then if you believe in it, it can happen. But if we don't believe in the Guru, we don't believe in his words, we don't believe in Krishna, we have no shraddha, no faith, then anything we do is just material. It is not spiritual. It is not done by Krishna. It is just done by moving material energy. That is not so glorious. Prabhupada's Guru told him, you preach in Western countries, you do these things. Then inspiration came, go to the Western countries. So he went there with such a small amount of money that it's hardly, in one sense, it's hardly 1 hour's expenditure in New York. 40 rupees. Hardly 1 hour's expenditure. But then from first stepping until so many years later, so many successes. One man met Prabhupada in the park. I don't know if you know the story. I met him in the park. He was sitting on a bench. It was like he was in USA a few months. He had a borrowed house to sleep, another borrowed house to cook, another borrowed house to take a bath. You understand? He couldn't get a house with three things. Sleep in one place, bath in another place, and cook in another place. All within about 1.5 kilometers in a very, very heavy part of the city. Heaviest part of the city. And he used to go to a park and sit down. And so one man saw him in the park, recognized some foreign dress. Swami is there. Just came, sat down on the bench and talked to him. So in the course of that, he asked him, you are from India? And yes, I'm from India, and everything like that. And he probably told him, I'm here starting my movement. I'm bringing Krishna consciousness movement to USA. Then he said, how many centers you have? Having all over the world. Not yet manifested, but there now. All over the world. So that is like really strong faith. He's there, he's 70 years old, alone. Day-to-day expense is all that is coming on the door so far. Day-to-day eating. No proper place to live. Nobody has joined him in helping. And some man asking about his mission. My mission is having temples all over the world. Not yet manifested, but they're there. Just now coming. Really, that's strong faith. Most of us would be there, no, my Guru's sitting here, nobody's helping, nobody's mind, don't seem to be able to do it. We'd be crying. He believed in the order of his Guru. He believed, he knows, my Guru Maharaj is with me, and when he's ready, it is all going to manifest. He had a strong faith. And then again another man said, but you don't seem to have anything. No, but we're enthusiastic. We're not disturbed. We're enthusiastic. Most people, if they're not getting immediate result, then they become, what do you call it? So disturbed, discouraged. If the result is not there. Immediately, at first then they feel discouraged. But because he had more faith, even so many non-result was there. Wasn't showing any promise immediately. Still, he was not discouraged. So, what is the purpose in the life of great acharyas? Is to follow their example. And they show us many examples. So, Prabhupada taught and showed so many things, but the most important thing he taught and showed in his movement was his faith in his Guru. I believe in the order of my Guru. Therefore, I'm getting success. Because I'm serving him. Maybe some good qualities are there. Maybe not. More than anything else, he showed that one single thing you all can do. We all can do. And that is serve our Guru sincerely. And through that, all success and good fortune will come to us. That is like the primary thing that Srila Prabhupada showed in his life. That is called Guru Nishta. We're not concerned you are the Paramahansa, you are not the Paramahansa. That's not our concern. And how will you know anyone who's not the Paramahansa? Paramahansa may be completely hidden, like the closed lotus. You may not be able to identify it, it may be closed. You can't say. But who has got Guru Nishta? That we must see. That we are looking for. We want association with those who are very fixed in serving Guru. And it goes without saying, Guru must be very fixed in serving Guru. Understand? Otherwise he is not Guru. That is Guru Parampara. And any good disciple, he is fixed in serving Guru Nishta. Guru Nishta Parampara. We are not so concerned with other things. We are concerned mainly with that. Nishta means fixed, very fixed, strong shraddha, strong faith. Cannot be shaken. Don't try to measure a person's love. Not possible. You cannot measure it. It is immeasurable. But you can see this Guru Nishta is more manifest to us. Very fixed. How do you know about love? Prabhupada's love, let's say. Those who examine. How do you know? What love? How do you know? You have some faith in his love. How do you know it is love? Not always crying. What's the symptom of love? Crying, shaking the hand, all this. Okay, you maybe saw a little bit, but then maybe you didn't see it at all. But Guru Nishta means serving the order of the Guru. That is going on daily, day to day to day by day by day. So many people, they imitate love. They cry and they fall down on the ground and they do this one and that one. Oh, you've got the love. He has a great love for Krishna. How do you know? What is doing? Oh, they're in Bengal, they used to have some, and they would show like this, and then afterwards smoking beads. There are some sadhus, they put orange cloth in rush hour and sit on the footpath in Calcutta. Then rush hour is over, put on white dress and go to the shop. This type of sadhu is also there. And fools come by and give that type of sadhu some money. And that is useless. He's no type of sadhu. Then he's going to his shop. So there are people there weeping and crying, love for Krishna, Radhe, Radhe, all these things. We don't regard that. Just because they're crying doesn't mean they're bogus, but that is not the measure. The measure is a more commitment, responsibility, service, things of that category. Some will criticize, but that is the lower thing. Yes, that is the lower thing. The investment. Just keep on investing. Understand? Investment. The tears are withdrawals, taking out from the account. Don't draw from your account, simply invest. Just invest. Save Seva, service, sacrifice, association of sadhus. All these things. And if we want to find a real devotee, we have to look for that. We have to look within, we have to look without. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, Lord.
Don't just look for shivering, crying, all these things. They also be there. That is very, very rare. And very easy to imitate it. But a life of service is very hard to imitate. Very hard to imitate, you see. Being a bogus sadhu is easy. In Kumbh Mela, Vishnu Maharaj and I went once, and in between the Amavasyas, we were just roaming around, seeing all the tents. And one day we went in, we saw this one man sadhu, and he was on a big tiger skin, and he's laid out like Caesar of Rome with fruits and grapes, and he had his lines and gorgeous shining silks, and so many village people were coming, just throwing rupees, coins, 10 rupee note, everything like that. And we saw this at a distance. Anyway, whatever, you know. We went on. The next day we came back and looked in there, and there was the tiger skin, and Mars and I walked up, and there was nobody around. There was one curtain. So I just like peeked behind the curtain. There he was, a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, just sitting there in like a pair of jeans, counting how much he had collected the night before. And then there was another man on the road. He was selling dreadlocks. You know, what do you call this? Jati. He was selling jati, long ones. And some sadhus are buying, fitting up everything, put some ash, and go out in Kumbh Mela, make a collection, and go back to their village with it. So it's easy to cheat. It's easy to cheat. To be the real thing, that is different, you see. So many cheaters are there in the spiritual market. Just like in the other cloth market. You go, silk, first thing you get is nylon, synthetic, pure silk, pure silk. Nine, cheap. Pure herbal this, pure herbal that, all chemicals. Some herbal. We see. Like that. So much cheating. So, real thing, if you know the real thing, you'll just go, no sir, this is nylon, synthetic, you'll know this is not even one part herbal, you know. But then when it comes to God and sadhu, people can't discriminate. They can't smell a dead fish. They don't know. They accept so many cheaters. You see. Therefore, this type of preaching is required. What is sadhu? What is not sadhu? What is God? What is not God? What is guru? What is not guru? What is the mood of guru, devotee, sadhu? All these basic things are necessary. If we only talk about love divine, then so much cheating may enter. But everyone should be aware that divine love is the goal of everything in Krishna consciousness. To have done it all the fundamental work, the early preaching, all the everything, and we didn't open our heart, and we didn't develop any love for Krishna, any love for Guru, or any love for the Vaishnava, then we have failed. We have failed. Even we have built temples, we have got gold on top of our temples, whatever it may be. If love for Guru, Vaishnava, and Krishna is not there, it is a failed project. So, the goal is love, divine love. The science how to achieve that. So we are very concerned with our Guru. We should never forget the Vaishnava. And know that these two are the representatives of Krishna. We will only find Krishna through Guru and Vaishnava, not by other means. Someone will say, but Shastra is there. It is true. Shastra is there. Where you got it? You got it from the Vaishnava, or you got it from the Guru. So even as regards the Shastra, we say that Guru and Vaishnava holds the superior position. How do you understand the Shastra? You must have a Guru. Must have a Guru. How do you even know what is the Shastra? Or how to read it? Or to speak of what it means? Only Guru is there. And whose words you are reading? Vyasa. Who is Vyasa? He is the Guru. Narada Muni. Who is Narada Muni? He is the Guru. So many sadhus, Vaishnavas, and Gurus, their words make the Shastra. And sometimes Bhagavan's word himself is there. Like Bhagavad Gita, directly Bhagavan himself, his word is there. But then how do you get it? Only from Vyasa, who wrote it. And Guru, who got it, brought it to your ear. Guru and Vaishnava, they're all important for us. Go bring them in.